Whiskey Jason here, a whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I have a bottle from Ireland, Dingle, the third edition of their single pot still Irish whiskey. Very good, 46.5%, whiskey base number 143341. 90 euros in Ireland. I paid 95 euros for this. Usually it's the other way around. Usually we pay less in Germany because of the excise tax on the alcohol, but for some reason they did something differently. 3,400 bottles worldwide, so therefore it's a little bit exclusive. And this time they actually, for the third release of their single pot still whiskey, they used bourbon and port casks. Very nice, very nice. I love the bottle, by the way. You can always see that there's a pot still release when this is green. The normal bottles will not be green. I don't have anything here. That will just be white as well, but you always have that. So I have bottle number 1228. Very, very nice. Here it says distilled by Peter Mosley. Well, Peter Mosley has now been replaced by Graham Cole. He used to be the master distiller up in Glenmorangie in Scotland. A Scot came to Ireland. I actually had the chance to interview Graham at the Irish Whiskey Live, Dublin 2019. That was very, very interesting. He had been there for 3 weeks and he still hadn't even gotten his bearings yet. But that's the way it is. Same thing with me. All right. Now, I had the first and the second releases and even a cask strength of the single pot stills. Fairly young. Now we have a little bit more age here. It doesn't exactly say how old, but I'm going to guess they're going to be about 4 years now. All right. So, we'll see what happens. They started 2012. There could have been people who actually, I have friends who were actually members of the founding fathers at Dingle. I wasn't even into whiskey 5 years ago when all this happened, or those years ago. But now I am into whiskey, and I am actually purchasing casks at various new distilleries in Ireland. So if anyone is in Europe and would be interested in maybe becoming a part of that cask program, please contact me at whiskyjason@gmail.com. The way we're doing it, at least over here in Germany, is I have a cask. I divide it up into 30 virtual parts, and everyone buys a part, just like a stock market. You're not allowed to share the cask parts and so on, but you do get to pay at the beginning, in this case about 200 euros for a 30th of the cask, and at the end you get to pay another 135 euros, and then at the very, very end you get 6 bottles of 5-year-old cask strength whiskey, each at about 55 euros, so not that bad. Depends on the excise tax, it depends on the VAT, it depends on transport, it depends on labeling. There's a lot of variables that can give it a 5 or 10 euros plus minus per bottle at the end. Depends on how you're doing the calculation there, and if we really want to go for cask strength or not, which I usually do, or if we want to go for maybe something that's like, I don't know, 50% or 52%, that also changes the things. All right, good. Going back to Dingle here. Dingle is a very nice distillery. I've been following them. I think this is their 13th release. I've done so many Founding Father bottles. It's amazing. And at least for me it's been. And also expensive. Ooh, this is very, very unusually is better than expected. I'm getting a whiff of a vanilla honey. The port, the raspberry. Underneath that I'm getting the single pot still spice, a tiny little bit. What I'm getting actually is a little bit of wood. I'm going to call it cedar sawdust. If you ever cut cedar wood with maybe a handsaw and you've had that dust, it's very, very fine dust usually. And that's what I'm getting as well. I'm getting a little bit here of a dark, rich, chocolatey chocolatey pear moment. I'm going to read what they say here. All right, so this release, married with select cask, a unique color flavor with hints of peach. Oh, I wanted to go for pear. Cinnamon and dried fruits, just enough to give the pot still sweetness, real body, together with notes of dark chocolate. Haven't even read the tasting notes up to now. All right, very oily as well. Very, very nice. All right, 46.5%. Nice. Well done, well done. No age statement. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Now, wow. The interesting thing about this whiskey is it's like, wow, nice. And then as soon as you swallow, it's like, ooh, it's hot, it's ginger, it's pepper, it's white, it's flash of lightning. And then that heat resides, and then it goes back to a sweet fruitiness with this pot still in there, and still a little bit of a chocolate-covered pear. Nice. It's actually very nice. If it wasn't for that peak, or that dip there in the middle, this would have been an excellent whiskey. I think it just needs age. We have the additive maturation, where a cask gives something to the bottle, to the spirit, and we have this subtractive maturation, which takes away. And the barrel still needs a little bit more time to take off the edges of that alcohol, to smooth it out, to make it a little bit more of a wonderful experience in your mouth. But still, this is a very, very nice whiskey. Now, I could, if I wanted to, which I don't, compare it to the Teeling. I did this in my German video. This would actually fail compared to this. I'm going to give this here a C to a C+. It's actually a solid C. Don't even worry about that. Solid C. And then I tried this, and I was like, if I'm going to give this, and I give this like a D, I'm going to have to give this a B. It's so much better. All right? And so this, I just did not like the Teeling pot still. I'm sorry. People at Teeling probably hate me now for saying that time and time and time again, but that's my baseline here, my standard that I have to compare the new pot stills in the market to at the moment. All right, that was batch 3, by the way. Batch 2 was worse. Batch 1 was even worse. We'll see what your version will be in the States and so on in the future. Maybe they finally tweaked it to make it nice. Now, this is nice, actually. What's not nice about it, in my personal opinion, is the price. 90 euros to 100 euros, that's fairly expensive, all right? Imagine how much scotch you can get for 100 euros. Imagine how much bourbon you can get for 100 euros. This is, or even other world whiskey, that's a lot of money, yeah? $130, $125 is a lot of money to pay for a bottle of no age statement, fairly young Irish whiskey made from single pot still, which is, of course, malted and unmalted barley. So, the bourbon, the port cask finish is actually very, very nice. What I haven't done here is what I didn't do in my German video either. I'm going to try to dilute it down right to the 40% point and see what happens. Ooh, I get some barrel char. I get more vanilla than I had before. Slanja. Hmm. Mm-hmm. It's still got that burn at the very beginning of the finish, and then it balances itself back out and turns into a nice sweetness. Can it use a little bit of water? Yes. Does it help a whole lot? Not really. It's got a great mouthfeel, very oily. Viscosity is there. Nice. It coats the mouth. It coats the cheeks. It coats the tongue. This is a good whiskey. I can't wait for the 12-year-old. Imagine 12-year-old Redbreast versus the 12-year-old Dingle. I think Dingle is going to win. Because you have by the Redbreast only sherry and bourbon here. You're going to have Pedro Jimenez, you're going to have Oloroso, you're going to have port, you're going to have ex-bourbon and so on. You're going to have more mixtures of different possibilities. Yay! Irish whiskey revival. This is going to be very, very nice. The renaissance of the single pot still. Good stuff. So, as I mentioned already, this is actually C, almost a C plus whiskey, but it's actually a C whiskey. Value for money, in my opinion, is a D. Why haven't you bought it? B, buy it. C, you can buy it. D, you don't need to buy it. And F, why was it even made? So this is actually a whiskey you can buy if you can find it, and that's a question of the price. Celtic Whiskey Shop had it on sale, or had it in their shop system for 90 euros with a limitation of 1 bottle per person. I was able to buy 2 bottles of this actually here in Europe, Germany, which is nice. but we'll see what happens with this in the future. All right, thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, tell others, maybe even share this video with other Irish whiskey, other single pot still freaks out there. That would be very, very, very nice of you. All right, Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American here over in Europe. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe, like, and tell others. Bye-bye.